If you look at the state figures in this seat, it certainly is not safe. So I don't think we've polled this seat, but I've relied upon my amazing campaign team to work very hard. As you know, I've spent a lot of time with you wonderful people rather than with the people of Grainler, but I love this seat and the electorate. They've been very good to me, and it's a great honour to represent them. I'm just going to wait for my son and then... Here he comes. Hey, mate.
South Sydney.
Oh, South Sydney.
South all the way, mate.
South Sydney and Labor.
Thanks, Ash. That's the team, brother.
Hey, mate. Hey.
What am I holding?
Oh, just standing here. Oh, here we go. Stand? Yeah. Come in.
It's nice to have you here, Anthony.
Sorry.
Easy your head on.
Okay, great. No worries.
Mr Albanese, a lot of Australian voters won't vote for you today. If you win tonight, you'll still be their Prime Minister. What's your message for people who haven't supported Labor?
My message is I want to represent all Australians. I want to unite the country. There's been a lot of division in recent times. It's one of my criticisms of the current government is that Scott Morrison looks for division and difference rather than unity and common purpose. I want to bring people together, and regardless of how people vote in our great democracy, it's good that people express their views at the ballot box. Once it's done, then we need to unite and to move forward as a nation. I believe that we can.
Mr Albanese, if you win tonight, is Toto going to live at the Lodge or Kirribilli House?
We're not getting ahead of ourselves. One thing that can be certain is that Toto is a very loyal dog, I think, as you have seen here. And just the absence of a few minutes means you get a great greeting, and it's very uplifting.
Anthony, Mr Albanese, tonight you could be just the fourth Labor leader in about 80 years to win government from opposition. How much is that weighing on your mind, the sense of history tonight?
Well, I feel a great sense of responsibility. I remember as a very young boy when Gough Whitlam won in '72. I just remember my mum telling me that our team had won. It was a bit like the '71 grand final when our other team won against St George when South won. I grew up with a passion for Labor. My mum was a rank and file member, never held a position. I have her life membership certificate in my office. And my grandfather was president of Camperdown branch of the Labor Party. I was raised with three great faiths. And Labor, of course, was one of them, and I've held to it my whole life. I believe that Labor governments make a positive difference to people's lives.
You went through Mr Albanese 6 weeks. It's been a long campaign. How would you assess your campaign just hours from polls closing?
Well, people will assess it when they cast their votes, but we've been positive. We've put forward a plan for a better future. I do notice I still have not seen a poster of Scott Morrison on any polling booth put up by the Liberal Party, and I've been to 6 states and a territory in the last week.
Mr. Albanese, can I ask, have you received a message of support from Mr. Shorten at all? Has been in a similar position?
Yeah, I spoke to Bill this morning on the way to the MCG where I did Breakfast TV. Bill knows what it's like to be opposition leader on election day. And Bill rang me to wish him well, and we had a good chat. He's played an important role in the campaign.
The weight of the responsibility. You're here with your partner Jodie, your son Nathan, Toto as well. How are you feeling? Can you talk us through? Are you feeling nervous? Did you get much sleep last night?
I slept quite well, I've got to say. Yesterday we went to, of course, we began in New South Wales, we began in Marrickville, we went to Adelaide, we went to Launceston, we went to Melbourne. We did the last event. I think we finished with you guys about 8 o'clock or thereabouts. I did the 7:30 report. I did Raf Epstein down there in Melbourne. What I wanted to know in myself was that I hadn't left anything on the field, and I've done that. I've done my best for the cause of Labor, which I'm passionate about. I feel a sense of responsibility. I think that Australians want a change of government. And when you have a Prime Minister who a week ago said vote for him and he'll be someone different, vote for him and he'll change, well, the way that you change the country is to change the government.
Mr. Albanese, over the last 3 years you've been through the arduous task of streamlining Labor's platform, bringing the party to the centre, injecting a dose of pragmatism into the agenda. That was controversial in some quarters, but now that Labor's standing, or you're standing here, in a very competitive position, do you feel like this strategy has been vindicated?
I said on the day that I became leader that I wanted to head in a different direction. I wanted to talk about the creation of wealth, not just its distribution. That I wanted to reach out to the business community as well as to the union movement. I've done that. I've put us in a position whereby at worst, we're competitive today. We're in the hunt here, and I must say that there were some commentators wrote us off at various times over the last 3 years. I have done exactly what I said I would do when I went to the National Press Club in 2019 and outlined a four-quarter strategy, if you like, to use the AFL analogy. And I said that in the fourth quarter, I wanted to kick with the wind at my back. I believe we have the wind at our back, and I'm very positive about and hopeful about a good outcome tonight. Just a couple more.
One on Grainler, if I could ask you.
Sure.
You talk about the support that you've gotten here in Grainler. Without being presumptuous, I mean, what sort of local member will you be if you become Prime Minister tomorrow? Will we see you at the Petersham Public House, at the Jets games at Henson Park?
I'll always make the Jets games at Henson Park when I can. And I'm still, I've got to say, the Sydney Badge District Tennis Comp started 6 weeks ago. I'm a member of, I think my team this year is Marrickville 4 or 5. It plays at the Lawn Tennis Club around the corner there in Livingston Road. I haven't yet made it onto the court. I'm hoping to get a couple of games in over the next little while. I'll still, my heart is here. I grew up. I've lived in this area, the inner west, my whole life. The great thing about this area, as you can see with people voting here today, is it's a mix. It's a mix of Australia. It reflects it. People from outside, I think, sometimes don't understand it. It is multicultural. It has a mix of professionals and quite wealthy people who are doing well, but it also has more boarding house residents than any electorate in Australia. It has more artists than any electorate in Australia. It has people who are doing it really tough, but people also who've done okay. And what I want to do is to continue to represent them. I don't take it for granted. That's why I'm here in Marrickville, at Marrickville Town Hall right now. It's an electorate that I love. They're very generous people. They're demanding, as they should be, of their local member. I'll take just two more. In there.
About your policy platform that you think is going to resonate in those suburban and regional states, for example, like Tasmania, that hasn't in terms of what Morrison is offering?
I think we have a plan for the future. This government have just got scare campaigns over and over again. Everything's negative. You know, they can go through my university essays to try and find things that they want to run on. People don't care about that nonsense. People want someone who's fair income. They want someone who'll lead, someone who'll fess up if they make a mistake, but someone who will try to make things better. You know, this guy won't even concede. He thinks it's controversial that a Labor leader says that people on minimum wages should get an extra $1 an hour rather than a real wage cut. To me, that's just in my guts. Of course that is what I would do. That's who I am.
I know you don't want to get ahead of yourself, but have you thought about or fantasised about that moment, if it happens, of Scott Morrison calling you to concede?
No, I haven't got ahead of myself. I'm making sure that I keep grounded. When you come from where I've come from, one of the advantages that you have is that you don't get ahead of yourself. You know, everything in life's a bonus. Some people have said to me, a couple of you people, I'll say on the record now what I've said privately. I've said, oh, you know, it's a tough campaign. You know, have you found it difficult? I've loved it. This is an incredible privilege and an honour to lead the Australian Labor Party. The Australian Labor Party, a party that I love, a party that I've committed my life to. And, you know, we'll see how we go tonight. whether I lead Labor into government, I know that I've done my best. I know I've left nothing on the field. I know that I lead a team that will give Australia a government of which Australians will be proud. My big concern with this government is what is there to be proud of? You know, the sort of nonsense that we've seen of playing wedge politics against vulnerable people that Scott Morrison's been prepared to do during this campaign, and the other wedge politics throughout this. We're a better country than that. I want to change politics. Be very clear. I want to change politics. I want to change the way it operates. I want Parliament to function properly. I want our democracy to function properly. That's why I'm in this. Not to change where I live. I'm in it to change the country, and that's what I intend to do. Thanks very much.
So that's Anthony Albanese speaking after casting his vote in Marrickville in Sydney's inner west. He's joined there by his partner Jody, his 21-year-old son Nathan, and of course his very popular pooch Toto.